Welcome to part 6 of our D2L video series. My name is Adam Griever in the Office of E-Learning at ETSU, and today we're going to be looking at the content tool in D2L. In order to see this video well, you may want to go ahead and click the gear icon in the bottom right corner of your YouTube player and click the HD 720 option, and also blow the video up to full screen. The content tool can be found in the bottom left corner of your nav bar right here, and this is a great place to post all of your files and other types of content. There's a lot of different types of content that you can post. This could be a Word file, a PowerPoint file, a PDF, an HTML document, a link out to another website or a video, and we're going to talk about a lot of these different types of content in this video. Before we get started, let's talk about the three major areas of the content tool. The first area is called Manage Content. This is the area that you're going to be taken to when you click the content link from the nav bar, and this is basically where you'll build your course content. Another area is called View Content. It can be found on the left side under Content Areas, and when I click on that, it's going to show me basically the view that students see when they go and click content. So if you want to see what your course is laid out like, you can come to View Content and see exactly what the students are seeing. The third major area is called Manage Files, and this is the underlying file structure of your course. It looks kind of like My Computer or Windows Explorer if you ever browse down on your computer and you start looking at the folder structure. It's similar to that, and you can come here and organize your files into folders so that they're easy to find when you need them. Let's go ahead and return back to the Manage Files area and talk about that area in a little more detail. Content is basically broken down into two items: modules and topics. A module is basically a container that you're going to put your topics into in order to present the material in a logical order and structure for your students. So for example, in this course, I have course information, course assignments. These are modules, and then you can also have modules within other modules called submodules, like this one, where I have week 1 as a submodule of course assignments. Down here, I have a module called week 1 with sub-modules called readings, assignments, and week 1 materials. These are modules, and it's basically the structure of your course. The other type of item is a topic, and there can be a lot of different types of topics, whether they're a file that you're uploading, a file that you're creating in D2L, or maybe you're linking out to a website. These are all topics, and each one of these blue links that I can click on is a topic. Some of them are different file types, represented by the small icon to the left of the name, and these are the things that students are going to click on in order to access that content. So the first thing we want to do in our course is build some modules. We're going to go up to the top and click the New Module button. On this page, we have to give our module a title because it has the red asterisk beside title. Anytime you see the red asterisk in D2L, that means that that is a required field, and you're going to have to put something there. Everything else is optional. Here, I'm going to go ahead and build a week 2 module. You can choose to hide the enumeration for a module, and that basically means that it's going to hide the numbering and lettering, but to the left of the module name. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on. You'll notice along the top there are different tabs if there are other options that you want to set. And for example, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Restrictions tab. You'll notice when I move over to the Restrictions tab that what I did on the first tab, Properties, is saved. On the Restrictions tab, I can set the availability of this module. What that means is I can basically control when this module opens so that students can view the files that are going to be within it, and when it closes. By default, it's going to be open all the time. But if I come in here and click the checkbox has a start date, I can control when this module opens by using the calendar. Maybe I want to have it open on the 6th, and I can control when it closes. I'm going to go ahead and just set a start date and leave the end date off, basically meaning that this file will open on the 6th, but it will stay open permanently and not close. Another nice feature is that I can check the display in calendar checkbox here, and now an entry will be added to my calendar and also to students' calendars that this module opens on August 6th. In order to keep these settings, I'm going to go down and click the Save button. If I were to click Save and New, it would save this module and open a new blank module if I knew that I had a few more modules to create. I'm going to go ahead now and return back to Manage Content, which can be accessed either by clicking the Content button, Manage Content here, or Manage Content on the left side of the screen. If we scroll down, we can now see the module that I created. Because I didn't hide the enumeration for this module, it's saying Module 1, Week 2. If I want to get rid of the enumeration, I can always go back and edit this module by clicking the pencil icon on the far right of the screen to go back to the creation screen, where I can now click Hide Enumeration for this module and click Save to update that setting. Now when I return back to Manage Content and scroll down, my module just has my title. The small clock to the right of the title shows me the date that this module will open for students. Now that I have a module created, I could go ahead and start adding topics to it, or I could add submodules to this module that I could then put topics into those. I'm going to go ahead and create a submodule just so I can show you how that works. So if I scroll back to the top, I'm going to click the New Module button again. And on this page, I'm going to use the Parent Module option to select what module this submodule is going into. So here I'm going to choose Week 2, and I'm going to call my submodule Reading Assignments. Now when I come down and click Save, it's going to create this module, and I can return back to Manage Content to see what I've built. So if I scroll down, I can see my Week 2 module now has a submodule called Reading Assignments. Notice that it has an A beside it because I left the enumeration on, and the enumeration changes depending on what level of indentation you're at. So a top level module like this one you saw earlier in the video said Module 1, Module 2, and so on. When you have a submodule, it will have A, B, C, D, and again, if you put topics within this submodule, they're going to be enumerated with 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This can allow you to have a nice structure that it's easy for students to navigate and find the files that they're looking for. Now that we have some structure built, let's scroll back up and build some topics. So when we click on the New Topic button, you'll notice that there are 4 different options. The first option, Create New File, allows you to create a file in D2L using the HTML editor. The second option, Course File, allows you to add a new topic link to a file that you've uploaded previously to D2L. This would be a file that you may have in your Manage Files area that you uploaded in a previous semester and you want to make a new link back to that file. The third option is Upload New File, and you'll use this when you have a file on your computer, such as a PowerPoint or a Word document, that you want to get uploaded into D2L. And the fourth option, Quick Link, can be used for a few different things. This may be a link out to another website, a link to a video that you have on a streaming server, or even a link within your D2L site. So we'll talk about each one of these in a little more detail now. The first option allows you to create an HTML file in D2L. This is actually considered best practice for any type of text document that you're going to put into D2L. So up at the top, I'll choose the parent module. This is the module that this file is going to be listed under. So I'm going to choose Reading Assignments, and in the title I can type in what the student sees when they're viewing content to open this file. So I'm going to call this Reading Assignment 1. Again, you do have the ability to turn off the enumeration for topics as well, and this would be either the ABCD or the 1, 2, 3, 4 enumeration, depending on whether it's under a module or a submodule. Notice the file name was specified for me here, as it is just creating an HTML file in D2L, and the folder that this is built in. I can click Choose Destination to change that location and put it into a folder that I've built already, or I can create a new folder right here. We'll talk a little bit more about Manage Files a little further into this video. So for now, I'm going to click Week 2 Files and choose Select a Path. This file is now being built in my Week 2 Files folder. If I scroll down, I now have the HTML editor. I can use either the basic editor or the advanced editor. And here I have a lot of different options, such as inserting an image, using the equation editor. I can insert quick links, spell check, different font and alignment options. I can insert a table, and a lot of other things that you could do in a word processor, such as Word. Another nice feature is that if you already have a lot of documents typed up in Word, you can copy and paste them into D2L. Here at the top we have some buttons that allow you to paste from different programs. So if you're pasting from Word, you could click here, Paste from Word, and it's going to open a box that you can copy and paste your content into here, and then click Insert, and it's going to insert that Word text into the HTML editor in a way that tries to retain the formatting. You can also come into the editor and just start typing. Once you're finished, you can scroll down to the bottom and click Save. The Save and New button would create this topic and then open a new blank HTML topic. Notice at the top we have some tabs that you can use. The Restrictions tab, just like it did on the module, will allow you to set the availability date for this topic. If you have a topic inside of a module that already has an availability date on it, it will be controlled by that module's date. So if my Week 2 module were set to open on the 6th, like we set ours, this topic would open along with the module at that time. You can set dates specifically on topics if you want to, but if you set dates on modules and topics, it can sometimes be a little confusing for the student and for you to know when things are opening. So it's usually a good idea to set it on one or the other instead of setting it on both. I'm going to go ahead and return back to Manage Content, and if I scroll to the bottom, I can now see the reading assignment that I just made. Let's go ahead and talk about using some of the other topic types. If I come up and click New Topic, I'm now going to choose the third option, Upload New File. And here, everything is pretty similar except this part at the bottom for the content frame. So at the top, I'm going to choose the module that this is going into. I can scroll down and click Choose a File, and now I'm browsing on my computer for a file that I want to upload. I'm just going to choose this test file and click Open. I can then choose a destination to choose the folder that I want this file to go into. So I'm going to choose my Week 2 Files, select a path, and now when I click Save, this file is going to be uploaded to D2L, and it's going to build a topic that links to it. So now if I return back to Manage Content and scroll to the bottom, I can see this PowerPoint file that I just uploaded. Now let's talk about the Quick Link option. So if we go back to New Topic and click on the fourth option, Quick Link, again we're going to see that the top part is very similar, where I'll choose the module that this link is going to go into. I can then scroll down and type in a URL. This could be a interesting video or website that you found out on the internet and you just want to link out to it, or this could also be a link out to a file that is on our streaming media server. If you're going to be using a lot of video, we do recommend that you post it on our streaming media server. And if you go to the ATS website at www.etsu.edu/ATS, you can find out more information about that. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just type in a short URL here that if the student were to click on this, it would link out to this website. I do recommend checking the Open in New Window option here, because when the student clicks on this link, that's going to allow it to open in a new tab or a new window on the student's browser. Otherwise, when they click this link, it could accidentally log them out of D2L. So it's sometimes a good idea to check this. Now if I click Save, it's going to build a topic link that goes to this website. So now if I go to View Content and scroll to the bottom, when I click on this link, it's going to open it up like a student would see it, and it's going to go to this website, for this example, the Google homepage. But these quick links can be used for other things as well. I'm going to return back to my Manage Content screen, and let's talk about another neat way that this can be used. If I go to New Topic, and then choose the Quick Link option, using the quick link, I can also build links to other areas within my D2L course. So for example, if I had an assessment that I had built, I can make a link from my content over to that assessment. So here I'm going to choose Week 2 as my module. I'm going to call this Week 2 Quiz. And I can click on this chain icon here on the right side to open a small window that allows me to pick what area of D2L I want to link to. So from the category list, I'm going to choose Assessments. And now, from my quiz list, I can pick an assessment that I have created. So here I have an Exam 1 created. I'm just going to go ahead and choose that and click Insert. And this is going to insert the URL for me. When I click Save, it will build this quick link topic. And if I return back to View Content, the students, when they click on this, it will link over to that assessment. The last area that we're going to talk about in a little more detail is the Manage Files area. Like I mentioned before, this is basically the underlying file structure of your D2L course, and I can see the different folders that I've created and also some files that I've maybe uploaded outside of a folder. Here I can come and create folders using the new folder button here at the top. You can also build HTML files that you could then link within your content directly from here. Most people build them just under the Manage Content area because it's a little easier, but you can build them from here as well. You can also upload files to your Manage Files area directly, but again, it's a little easier to do it from the Manage Content area that I showed you earlier. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder that I can then move some of these files into that are outside of my folder structure. So I'm going to click New Folder, and I can give this a name. And when I click Save, it's going to build this folder. I can now scroll down and select some files by using the checkboxes, and then use the buttons at the top to copy or cut these files. So I'm going to click Cut. Notice that my Paste button is now lit up with a 3 in it, indicating the 3 files that I've cut. I can now click into my Week 2 folder and use the Paste button to paste these files into this folder. One nice thing is that if these were linked files from my content area, the link will still work, even though I've moved it into a different folder. I can use the left navigation to move around into other folders, and click here to go back to my top level folder. When I hover my mouse over a folder, I'll have an arrow drop down that I can use to rename, copy, cut, and delete folders. And these same options are present when you click the arrow on a file. I can rename, copy, cut, delete. I can download the file if it's something that I've uploaded into D2L and I now want to download a copy of it to my computer. And I can add a content topic right from the Manage Files area. This is not an area that you'll have to use in D2L, but it's good to know that it's here, and it's good to know how to use it if you do want to come in here and organize your files in a logical way so that they're easy for you to find later when you need them. I'm going to go ahead and return back to my content area. The final thing that I want to show you is that you do have the ability to reorder the items that you create in the content area. If you click the reorder button at the top of the screen, this will take you to a page where you can see all of your modules, and if you click the plus and minus on the left side, you can maximize these out so that you can see everything that's within them. You can use the 1, 2, 3, 4 numbering to change them around. So if I wanted course assignments to come after my week 2, I could simply change this to a 4. Notice that it renumbers everything for you automatically, and when I click save, everything is going to be shuffled around. This has been a brief video of using the D2L content tool. This is a very complex tool, and there's a lot of different functionality to it. So I do recommend just digging in and getting in here and practicing in order to become proficient with using it. In our next video, we're going to talk about using the D2L calendar. Thanks for watching.